Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm going to make a wiper card using the new Lovers in the Air collection by Katie Skilton. So her brand is My Creative Life, and I'm going to use the new hearts here. There's two sets. So you've got these kind of clean hearts, well, heart shape in the middle with the frame, or you've got these ones here. So I'm going to use this one today, which is this one, and they're really nice size, and it fits perfectly in the 6x6 wiper window. You've got the big sentiments there, love you. And the nice thing about these is you've got the inner dies and the outer dies. So you could turn this into a stamp. You die cut it using foam, ink up the foam, and then stamp it. And then you could have the dies to cut it out. You've got different bits here to paper piece over the top. So I've stamped the flowers here, which coordinate. And then I'm using the coordinating sentiment stamp and die set, which is this one here. It's really lovely. So you've got all your stamps, and then you've got all the dies, which are all in arrows. And you've got the outline dies to cut them as well. I'm just actually going to use the two stamps for this one, which is Love You and then Always is going to pop up in the middle. But you can see when they're all together how it looks. So you stamp Will You Be My, and then you have the die with Valentine. You can stamp You Have My, and then you've got the die with the word heart, or you can stamp Valentine and then Of My Life. So there's loads of different ways to use this. It's not just for Valentine's Day. You know, you can use this all through the year because you've got the birthday in there as well. I'm also then using it with my Ditsy print embossing folder, and this is my 6x6 wiper die set. I've got lots and lots of tutorials using this die set, and I will link them up here. So I've already gone ahead and cut everything I need. So I've cut 2 of the largest die here and just run that through my machine, and it will give you your score lines. And then you can see you've got all your mats and layers here. So I've done my mats and layers in this slightly lighter turquoise colour here. So first of all, I want to cut through the matte layer on this, but I also want to cut through this. But I don't want to stick it down just yet because I also want to emboss this. And I don't want to emboss it and then cut this out because it will flatten the design. So I'm just going to grab some low tack tape. Just take some of that stickiness off and just tack in place this matte layer, like so. And then I'm going to place this over the top. Now, I want to have my sentiment, the Love You, along the top here. So I'm going to have my heart slightly further down, and then just tack that in place. Just going to pop a little tape on that side as well. Okay, so I'm going to run that all through my machine. Okay, so now just carefully peel this all off. That's cut through those layers and through this piece. So now I'm going to emboss this piece, and now I can stick this all down, and it's all going to line up like so. So I've just stuck those two down, but I think I'm going to add a sheet of acetate between this layer and this. You could just stick it behind, but this is going to look a bit cleaner, I think. And I want to have this up on some foam because I need to add that sentiment wrapped around with the baker's twine on it. So I'm going to cut a piece of acetate that is 5 1/4 by 5. Okay, and then I'm going to add my red tape around the heart here. Yeah, just take the backing off. And then just lay that acetate down. And I've just sprayed a little rubbing alcohol on the acetate. So I'm just going to add a little bit of foam to the back of the sentiment, and then just place that one down along the top. Okay, and then just wrap the twine around, like so. Just cut off the excess there. And then just using some foam tape, I'm just going to go over the top of that piece, and then just all around the edges here. And now I want to stick this over the top. So I'm going to just going to focus on the bottom and then get that nice and straight, and the rest should just fall into place. And now I can just stick that over the top. So what I'm going to do is just add some of my red tape here in these sections where you won't see it, and that'll be enough to stick that to the acetate. Okay, so just taking the backing off, and again I'm just going to start on the bottom there and just make sure I've got a nice even border, and then drop the rest down. And then you can just lift the flowers up a little bit more. I forgot to mention, it's worthwhile just going over the score lines with your scoreboard. You don't have to, but it does just make it a bit easier when you fold them. So you want to fold that one back and then under, so you've got a mountain and a valley fold like so. Do that on this one and stick these two pieces on as well. Okay, so you've got your two pieces. I've stuck white card on the back there, so I've got a place to write my message. So you're going to flip one over, so you've got the folds on this side and then the other one, the folds on the left, and you're going to stick them together like so. Okay, so I'm going to run my glue all down here. Okay, so just lay that one down, make sure that all lines up. Fold that over, and then whilst that's drying you can add your glue all down this side, and then just fold that one under. Okay, so that's all stuck down. You can see again all your space on the back and how that can stand up, and it should now move like so. Next you want to take this one here. So in the set you get your mechanism dies, these ones here. You've got a matte layer for the top as well if you want to stamp a sentiment and stick it on top, but you just want the largest one there with that triangle piece in the corner. You can die cut it into cardstock, but I always do use acetate with this piece, so it looks like whatever you've got on the end is floating. So fold and burnish the triangle piece in both directions, okay? And you're going to cover the triangle with double-sided tape. So I'm going to use the thicker tape and just cover all of it, and then I just cut around the edge. It's just a bit easier that way. And what I've also done is I've taken about an inch off the top of this piece. Okay, you see it's slightly shorter there. Everyone's is going to vary depending on, you know, what it is that you're going to have popping up. So you do have to kind of play around. Now, before I take the backing off, I want to show you what you're going to do with this. This is going to go inside, and where you've got this score line here, the middle, okay, the middle score line here, this side needs to run along that. So if I just pop it in here, can you see where that's going to be? If I hold it that way, you can see, but it's going to be right up against this fold here. And I'm going to stick it about 1.5 inches up. It's going to be just behind that kind of yellow flower there. So I'm going to take the backing off. I always recommend with these kind of things, play around first with some scrap card. Watch my other tutorials. I've got, like I said, I've got other ones doing this inner pop-up wiper card. And then once you're confident with the scrap paper, then, you know, use your favourite best stuff. So stick it onto your finger like this, and then keep it against this top part until you've got it in the positioning that you want. So that feels about right. And then you're just going to fold it down. Now, when I go to close it, nothing's sticking out the bottom. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of tape to the end here, just to kind of tack it into place so I can be sure that that's, you know, where I want it to go. I'm just going to use my tweezers here. So this is how it is closed. So I'm just going to pop this in here. I'm just going to pop this in here. I'm just going to tack it there for a minute. No, see, that's a bit too high. So I've got room to come down a little bit more. I think that's going to be just right. I'm going to just secure that. I'm not going to move that anymore. You could snip away the acetate there if you want, but it's all part of the design. It sits perfectly in the middle of that heart when it's open, which is what I want. So then to finish it off, I've got some of these tiny little hearts, which are also in the set. See all these ones here. And I thought it would be nice to have some of them like down here and slightly, and along the top there. And there's the finished card. So a revisit of the inner wiper card using the 6x6 set and the new My Creative Life, Love is in the Air. I think that's a lovely card to just send to someone, just because you've got obviously birthday sentiments there, and you can take this idea and use it with lots of other different themes as well. It's a really nice style. All folds flat, so that's how it will go in the envelope. Like I said, you've got all that space on the back there to stamp and write your message. I'll link up some box envelopes and bouncy envelopes, because there is obviously a little bit more dimension with these cards, and it all stands up as well. So thank you as always for watching today. I will link all of the product that I've used in the description box below. I'll also have some other wiper cards coming up now as well. You might want to watch those next. And if you've enjoyed today, please give me a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. And I'll be back again very soon. Take care. Bye.